Yeah, that will have to come out with 2000 to pay it.
Maybe you from the 1970s, when the Los Angeles Rams was known as the Prison Foursome because of that defensive line. Or maybe you in the city of St. Louis, the gateway to the Midwest, where the greatest show on turf brought home the first ever Super Bowl championship. Or maybe you in the here and now, with the Rams back in LA, winners of Super Bowl 56. It doesn't matter because when it comes to this, it's all about the Los Angeles Rams. Horns up, Rams South. Time to talk Rams football.
And good day, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing today? Here on this special Friday edition of Ramily Talk, here as the Playmaker is in the building, ready to give you this week's episode of Ramily Talk. Didn't do it yesterday, scheduling issues, so we moved bearing down the gridiron that we recorded yesterday. We will Ramily Talk to Friday for this week, but next week everything should be back to normal. Ramily Talk will be on Thursday for this week, but thank y'all for tuning in still. Thank y'all for watching. It's good to be with y'all today. If you're watching on the Playmakers on the Playmakers Network YouTube channel, that's the first time I messed that up. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification. But if you're watching on my personal LinkedIn page, go ahead and send me a connect on LinkedIn and then slide over to the Playmakers Network YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Today's going to be pretty simple. We're going to recap the dominant performance of the Arizona Cardinals game, and then we're going to preview the Detroit Lions game. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. This is your Rams Nation East Coast station right here on Ramily Talk. Let's go to the Arizona Cardinals game, shall we? The Rams was coming off the loss to the Carolina Panthers, sitting at 9-3, looking to bounce back to get to 10-3 and continue to push forward to clinching a playoff berth. A dominant performance by the Los Angeles Rams. Cardinals came out, they struck first, 7-0, but the Rams followed suit, dropped the next 10, and then the domination continued from there. Outscoring the Arizona Cardinals 35-10 the rest of the way. What a performance by the Rams. Everything was clicking, offense, defense, running game, passing game, whatever the case may be, it was working. Matthew Stafford, 21 for 31, 3 touchdowns, 281 through the air. Blake Corum, the star man from the running back position, he had 2 touchdowns with 128 rushing yards on 12 carries, including a 48 burst city house for a touchdown. Puka Nacua, he had 2 of the 3 Matthew Stafford touchdown passes. He also had 167 receiving yards and 7 catches. That's a dominant performance. Not too shabby from the Jacoby Brissett. 25 44, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but he do 271. Marco Wilson, 11 catches, 142 and 2 touchdowns. Not an egregious effort by the Arizona Cardinals, but the Rams was just better. They were the better team. They always been the better team. And they showed why they were the better team. Nothing against the Arizona Cardinals, but the Rams did what they supposed to have done in this game. Now, as you look, the Rams had 530 yards of total offense, 30 first downs on 5 penalties, 3 for 8 on third down. They ain't try no crazy stuff. 3 for 4 in the red zone. We'll take a 75% chance. Control the time of possession by close to 10 by a little more than 10 minutes. So it was a very, very well done way to control the game, a game that you should control, a game that you should dominate, which the Rams did. And with that domination, Puka Nacua, the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for last week's performance, as you remember, 167 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, one of which was a Moss. Hey, Randy, I want to see that on You Got Moss this weekend. Okay. Puka Nacua going over the top of the defender for the catch that resulted in a touchdown. That needs to be on You Got Moss. Okay. Let's make that happen, Mr. Moss. Okay. It was a great performance by the Rams. Nothing to be shabby about the Rams. Now moved to 10-3 on the season. The Seattle Seahawks, they moved to 10-3 on the season. The San Francisco 49ers, they moved to 9-4 on the season. And we're supposed to be just beat the Arizona Cardinals, so they dropped to 3-10. It's still a close, tight race for the NFC West title. It's going to be interesting to see how things go from here and whatnot, because Week 15 is a little interesting in the NFC West with a big game coming up for the Rams, an interesting game for the Seattle Seahawks, and a supposed to be easy game for the San Francisco 49ers. But it's just the NFL, so crazy things do happen here. But we'll get into that after we take our long commercial break here. And when we come back, we will dive into Week 15's action of the NFL season.
Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Williams stood at 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmaker's blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
Sports fans are gearing up, whether it be for the madness of March, whether it be for the Super Bowl, or even a little thing called WrestleMania. You can get all that at Fanatics, where they have a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, the NCAA, and the WWE. So go on and show that pride, that passion, that dedication fan that you are by whipping your team, your league, all your favorite players. Fanatics, official license, everything.
Join Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
And welcome back to Ramily Talk here on this special edition, Friday, December 12th, 2025, as we get ready for week 15 of the NFL season. And it's a doozy, wonderful week 15, ladies and gentlemen. The Rams are back home. They are back at SoFi Stadium in a very big game. The Detroit Lions are coming rolling into SoFi Stadium to take on the Rams. This is going to be an interesting game here. This is, hey, Jared Goff came here one time after being traded to the Lions, got beat. We have visited Detroit Lions up in Detroit about two, maybe three times, lost all three of them. Well, we lost all of them. So this is going to be an interesting battle here. There's a lot of things going on here, but there's also playoff implications on the line here. And it's very, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. The Rams beat the Detroit Lions. The Rams clinch a playoff berth officially. A win Sunday, and the Rams are officially in the playoffs. Now they don't win the division, but they clinch a playoff berth. Now the interesting part about it is the Indianapolis Colts. They are playing the Seattle Seahawks, and the Indianapolis Colts are most likely turning to 44-year-old Philip Rivers in that matchup. The man has not played since 2020 when he was a member of the Indianapolis Colts. He's been away from the game for 5 years. He's back with the Indianapolis Colts, and they are playing the Seattle Seahawks. So that is an interesting game to pay attention to. The San Francisco 49ers, they have the Tennessee Titans. They should dominate the Tennessee Titans. They should be the better team than the Tennessee Titans. But this is the NFL, and crazy things do happen. I mean, we just watched the Atlanta Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with that, throw that whole division upside down. So interesting things can happen in the NFL. You just never know. You got to be ready. So San Fran should have a nice path to 10-4. Should the Seattle Seahawks, they could be moving to 11-3, saliving at the fact that they get to welcome back a 44-year-old man in Philip Rivers. And then you have this game here. Rams and Lions might be the tougher of all of them. The matchup this weekend. And for the Rams, win and you're in. Lions, they on the outside looking in. They are fighting for their playoff lives as well. They can't have too many losses, or they will not be making the playoffs. So they are 8-5. They trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Rams are trying to clinch a playoff berth. So it's gonna be easy to see. I expect Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady to be on the call. I think this is the America's Game of the Week for Fox, if I'm not mistaken, 425. So we should be the America's Game of the Week. People want to watch this game. It's Jared Goff. It's Matthew Stafford. It's the two quarterbacks that was traded back in 2021. This led to the Rams winning the Super Bowl with that trade. And Jared Goff has been a rejuvenated figure for Detroit. And Detroit, how all of a sudden, is a force to be reckoned with all of a sudden. They're now no longer a laughing stock. So it's a win-win trade that happened between these two. But the edge goes to the Rams because they do have a Super Bowl championship. And to most football pundits around the world, they say the Rams are the best team in the NFL. Still yet to be seen. There's a lot of work to be done. But these two teams have benefited greatly from this Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford trade. So this is going to be interesting. As you see here, DraftKings is the official sports book for ESPN. So all your odds are coming from DraftKings here. And as you can see here, it opened up as a 4.5 favorite for the Rams, and it has moved up to 6. A 6-point favorite for the Rams, almost a full touchdown for the Rams. Over under 54.5. I might take the over on this one because Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford. Then you have Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery for the Lions, and you have Blake Corum and Kerryon Williams for the Rams. On the receiving core, you do have Ahmad St. Brown. They don't have Sonny Pollard, but Jameson Williams is a deep threat for the Detroit Lions. And on our side, of course, we had Puka Nacua, the NFC Offensive Player of the Week this last week, and Devontae Allen, who is a red zone touchdown machine. If you get in the red zone, there's no 17 is somewhere looking to catch a touchdown pass. It ain't even about the yards for Devontae Allen. It's about get me in the end zone. That's all we care about. Is get me in the end zone. So with a beaten up secondary for Detroit, it's gonna be interesting seeing what their defensive strategy is gonna be going forward. But here's what the season total looked like for Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. 3,334 passing yards through the air, 26 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Jameer Gibbs over 1,000 yards rushing with 13 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's creeping up to the 1,000-yard receiving mark, and he has 9 touchdowns. For the Rams, Matthew Stafford, 3,354 passing yards, 35 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Karen Williams, he's creeping up to the 1,000-yard rushing mark, and he has 8 touchdowns. Booking the Cool, he's closing in on 1,200 receiving yards with 6 touchdowns. So which defense, let me say that again, which defense wants to step up and make key stops when it's time to make key stops? Because you're going to need key stops in this one to get past this one. This is going to be a nice game. I can see this game being in the upper 20s, low 30s in this one. If that shoot chooses to be a shootout, I can see it being a shootout because both offenses is electric. I mean, really, really electric. With us and that 13 personnel, it pretty much is killing everybody. I mean, 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, running backs are finding holes. Tight ends are making the most of their opportunities. Cody Parkinson, Ferguson, Hidby, Allen, they're making the most of it. And then when it's time, Pookin the Cool, you do your thing. Devontae Adams do your thing. And then the running duo of Corm and Williams, they doing their thing. So nice to see Blake Corm have a breakout game against the Arizona Cardinals. Hopefully they'll get him some more juice and flowing for a game like this against the Detroit Lions. We know Karen when he's gonna do what he do. He's been good at doing it. So it's been interesting, but hey, this is a big game for the Los Angeles Rams here. Win and you're in week 15 of the NFL season. And then we focus on the division because in week 16, Thursday night, short week, we head to Seattle and they want payback. They want the division crown. So take care of business against the Lions. Then we can focus on the Seattle Seahawks afterwards. Thank y'all for tuning in to Ramily Talk here. This is your Rams Nation East Coast station here. The Playmaker signing out. I will see you next week for week 16 of the NFL season.